Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful day for baseball here at Mustang Field. And for this Friday night baseball action, we welcome as our guests from Tavares High School. They are the Bulldogs. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Let's meet the teams. Beginning with our guests from Tavares and starting with their leadoff hitter, center fielder, number 13, Jordan Pophole. Batting second is right fielder, number 9, Hector Morales. Third in the lineup for the Bulldogs is designated hitter and pitcher number 11, Calvin Hinckley. And the cleanup hitter for Tavares, first baseman number 3, Kishun Ramjeet. In the 5-hole, third baseman number 4, Aaron Alston. Sixth in the lineup for Tavares, and behind the plate in the bottom of each inning, number 20, Steven Minchie. In the 7-hole, left fielder number 15, Easton Watson. Batting 8th for Tavares is shortstop number 1, Joseph Ruggiero. And finally, for the Bulldogs, batting ninth, second baseman number 6, Gabriel Moskaloff. Tavares is managed by head coach Matt Presk and assistant coach Jeff Kinney. Let's meet the starting lineup for you, Wekiva High School Mustangs. The leadoff hitter for the Mustangs is center fielder number 4, Brady Rennert. Second in the lineup for the Mustangs and behind the plate at the top of each inning, number 3, Cody Bowen. Third in the lineup for the Mustangs and on the pitcher's mound to start today's game, number 16, Alex Mancebo. Batting fourth for the Mustangs is third baseman number 18, Emil Flecker. In the 5-hole is second baseman number 2, Caden Lopez. Sixth in the lineup for the Mustangs is number 6 and position 6, shortstop Enrique Polanco. And the 7-hole is designated hitter number 13, Luke Robinson. And fielding for him at first base, number 12, Jaden Graham. Eighth in the lineup for the Mustangs is right fielder number 7, Jordan Bowen. And finally for the Mustangs in the 9-hole, left fielder number 11, Blaine Bird. Mustangs managed by Noah Piard. And now we invite you to please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land I want to remind everyone we are live streaming tonight's game, so if you have friends or family back in Tavares, elsewhere in Apopka, or anywhere in the world, and they were not available to join us in person for tonight's contest, just shoot them a note right now and let them know they can find us in one of two places. We simulcast on NFHSnetwork.com, the official online home of the Florida High School Athletic Association, or the NFHS Network app on your favorite mobile device. Or, if you are not a member there, that's okay. We've got you covered for free. We also simulcast on our YouTube channel, no subscription required, and that channel name is Wekiva Sports. Just open up the YouTube app on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, search Wekiva Sports, and it should come right up, and we look forward to seeing your friends and family there. Want to welcome those of you who have done just that. Welcome to Mustang Field. My name is Mark Barchi, voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, joined by Neil Fisher, longtime Apopka sports writer, ready to take you through this Friday night baseball action. And Neil, Mustangs looking to get on track here. They have struggled particularly defensively over the first week of the season. For those who are not aware, the baseball season last year got accelerated. It now starts in early to mid-February instead of in late February or to early March as it used to, and the reason for that is to accommodate the pilot program that they are running in the postseason, where when you get into the regional and state tournaments, those quarterfinals, semifinals, championships, those are done in series now, just like in college and professional, rather than single individual games. And so obviously when you have a series, it makes the postseason take longer, but school still ends at the same time. Graduation still happens at the same time. Everyone goes off to their summer jobs at the same time. And so the only thing you can do is start the season earlier. That is why baseball started a week earlier than softball, and we are actually in week 2 now instead of week 1. So both of these teams have a couple of games under their belt as they look into midseason and think about where they want to make adjustments.
Yeah, again, as always, Mark, an excellent job of the pregame festivities, of course highlighted by the Star Spangled Banner, their dulcet tones.
As we enter the top of the first inning, once again the leadoff hitter for Tavares, center fielder number 13, Jordan Popple.
And as you mentioned, both these teams, actually more games than just 2. Wekiva coming in with a 1-2 record. Tavares coming in at 0-4. So both these teams could use a victory.
Very first pitch put in play, and I'm going to regard that as a hit. Do you agree, Neil? I think even if that throw is clean, he beats it.
So Popple leads off with the infield single again. Tavares coming in with an 0-4 record.
Popple beats the throw to first, and next at the plate for Tavares will be right fielder number 9, Hector Morales.
0-4 for Tavares, 1-2 for Wekiva. And as you mentioned, that's Morales stepping in with a runner at first base. We'll have your defensive lineup in just a moment here. Starting off with the ball, 1-0 count. Strike one, 1-1, the throw down to third. Oh, good job there by Polanco to back up Lopez. That was high and out of the way. Over
All right, beg your pardon here. Our GoPro is reset. I'm going to go fix that, Neil, if you don't mind taking over for me.
So your defensive lineup. The pitch. Ball hit lightly, and that's actually a foul ball. Went off the foot of Morales. Morales coming in, by the way, with a 125 batting average. 2 for 8, does have 1 for 8. 3 runs scored, though, and a couple of RBIs. Your defensive lineup, Bowen behind the plate, Graham at first, Lopez at second, in the hole, shortstop Polanco, on the hot corner, third base is Fulcar, and no throw to third. Just scurries Popple back. And then your outfield left to right is Bowen, Reinhardt, and Bird. And there are 2 Bowens in the lineup, as that'll take the count to 2-1. catcher is Cody Bowen, and your left fielder is Jordan Bowen. That ball hit, snagged there by Polanco, the long throw to first. And we have another infield single. So runners at first and third to start off this inning for a team, Tavares, looking for its first win of the season. And stepping in now is Hinckley, who's also the pitcher. Not the start that Mancino had envisioned. Oh, wild throw, and we're going to have a 1-0 game without a ball being put into play on that pitch. And actually, Morales gets all the way to third base. So now a chance to go 2-0 without an out. Of course, with the runner at third and nobody out, that does open up the playbook. Hit the ball to the right side of the infield or medium depth, most likely. You're going to have a 2-0 lead. So Hinckley lashes that one, foul territory. That'll take the count to 1-2. So Hinckley at the plate, he's hitting .571, the leading hitter for Tavares. 4 of 7 with a couple of runs. That'll even the count at 2-2. Make it a full count at 3-2 with the runner at third and still nobody out. We're in the top of the first inning. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening / night. Mancino gets his sign. And ball 4. And, well, actually, I guess that's ball 3, so 3-2 count on Hinckley, who's also the starting pitcher. And we'll do it all over again. Everybody back to your assigned positions. Out of play. Count remains full at 3-2. That ball ripped down the middle. And that was Lopez trying to get a glove on it, unable to, but probably would have been a single anyway. Hinckley reaching base, give him the RBI. And now up to bat is Ramjeet. The single off the bat of Hinckley brings in Morales and increases the lead to 2-0 for Tavares. Now at the plate, number 3, first baseman, Ramjeet. So Ramjeet steps in. Batting .200 for the season, 2 for 10, a run and a RBI. Ball gets away from Bowen, and taking second base is Hinckley. Still nobody out. 4th batter in this inning. That'd be Ramjeet. and looks at ball 2. Two nothing lead for Tavares. As Ramjeet steps back in, and he has a 2-0 count as well. Mancino delivers. Strike one, 2-1 count. Ball lashed to the second baseman. That's Lopez. This time he picks it up, fields it cleanly, but throws high over the head of Graham, and that'll bring in another run as Hinckley scores from second base on the throwing error. Ramjeet reaches base on the throwing error. Also allows Hinckley to cross home plate. Lead now 3-0 in favor of Tavares. At the plate, number 4, third baseman, Alston. So Alston steps in now, still nobody out, with the runner at second base. And a 3-0 lead. And that ball gets away from Bowen again. Not far enough, though, for advancement of a runner. 1-0 count. Tavares looking for its first win of the season. Lost its first 4 games. Losing to Eustis, Mount Verde Academy, Foundation Academy, and Mount Dora Christian Academy. Wekiva coming in with a 1-2 record as Mancino goes back to work. And ball 2, a 2-0 count. Alston batting 167 on the season, 2 for 12, and he lifts that into right field, way over the head of Berg, giving chase. Rounding third, that's Ramjeet, and he'll score before the ball gets back to the infield, and a 4-0 lead now for Tavares. Give Alston a stand-up double. Alston cranks out the double to right field. That increases the lead now to 4-0, and at the plate, number 20, catcher Minchie. And now we're getting a conference on the mound. So 4-0 lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 batters have come to the plate for Tavares. All 5 of them have reached base. 3 singles, a double, and a throwing error. So again, thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Of course, I'm Neil Fisher. My partner is Mark Barchi. He's also our producer, as well as the number 1 public address announcer. He is currently taking care of some producing responsibilities, and you will hear his voice in probably a few minutes once he gets done. In the meantime, Minchie steps in to the batter's box. Runner at second. Again, nobody out. Minchie batting .333. 3 for 9 on the season. Mancino back to work, ball one. Four nothing lead for Tavares. Wekiva yet to get an out. This is the number 7 batter in the lineup, and it'll be a 2-0 count on Mancino. Excuse me, on Minchie. Mancino is our pitcher. So about 75 fans in attendance as there's ball 4. And that'll put runners on first and second, still with nobody out. Minchie draws the base on balls, bringing runners to first and second. Now at the plate, number 15, the left fielder, Watson. So Watson at the plate got a chance to do some more damage in this first inning. Already 4-0. Watson batting .222, 2 for 9 and an RBI for the left fielder, and he looks at ball strike one. Minchie gets his sign. That'll make it strike 2 as our ump makes it known. 0-2 count. And they'll stay alive there, fouling that ball off. Took a nice hack at that. Still in the first inning here at Mustang Field. And that will be ball one. So a 1-2 count on Watson. And we'll do that all over again. Another nice hack there by Watson to stay alive and survive in advance mode. Count remains 1-2. And she gets his sign. There's strike 3. The freeze. Much needed out for Wekiva. Mancino records his first strikeout of the game. That's the first out of the inning. And will bring to the plate number 1, the shortstop, Ruggieri.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Ruggieri. Oh, my gosh. Let's go, Ruggieri. Oh, man, Ruggieri.
So strike 1 to Ruggiero. Another wild pitch. That ball bounced a couple of inches in front of Bowen, and on his way to second and third is Austin and Minchie. So another scoring opportunity presents itself now for Tavares, already up 4-0. 1 out, runners at second and third. In the top of the first, Wekiva yet to step into the plate. And she gets his sign. And
No,
that'll
are
be.
you actually watching the broadcast because you're not broadcasting?
Let's go, Gary.
I mean, you are. Your audio is on, but your video
Go,
cut.
Joey. Come on, kid, look alive.
So an 0-2 count now to Ruggiero. Hits that ball hard, but right to the second baseman, Lopez. Couple of steps to his right. And that will be another infield single for Tavares. Give him Ruggiero the RBI as well.
Let's go, Gabe. Get. Oh, yeah, get.
The infield single by Ruggiero brings in another run. That makes it 5-0.
Go, Gabe.
Still only one out. Now at the plate, second baseman, number 6, Maskaloff. So 1-0 count. Like that, a 2-0 count. Correction, 1-1. Swing and a miss on the high heat. That'll make it a 1-2 count. Still only one out in the top of the first. Tavares already with a 5-0 lead. They've gone through the entire lineup. Maskaloff batting at the end of the lineup. And that's Messino on the mound for Wekiva. That'll be 2-2. Nice job by Bowen to get in front of that ball. Seen a number of wild pitches or pass balls today. Of course, Wekiva, a very young team. Also, in a coaching change as well. A new coaching staff off if that ball is fouled off. And that'll keep Maskaloff at the plate. Nice job of surviving there, getting a piece of that ball. And that'll be strike 3. Unable to catch up with the heat. Maskaloff goes down. 2 outs now. Messino records the strikeout, the second out of the inning. Runners remain at second and third with 2 outs, and now at the plate, number 13, center fielder, Papel. So Papel steps in. He singled, led off the game with a single, scored Tavares' first run. So I've not had a chance to talk about Messino, at least his pitching stats. And this is actually his first start of the season, as now 6-0. Tavares adds another run on the errant ball, and that makes it 6-0. So the 6-0 lead. The ball tapped softly. That'll even your count at 1-1. So the first start of the season for Messino certainly has not gone the way he or Wekiva would like it to. Chance to get out of the inning though with 2 outs. Ball hit sharply down to the shortstop, Polanco. Long throw to first. Unable to get it there in time. Another infield single, the third of the inning now for Tavares. Papel legs out the base hit. Also brings in another run, score now 7-0. And at the plate, number 9, right fielder Morales. Messino gets his sign. On his way down to second. That was Papel, and he'll be in there easily, even if the throw wasn't wild. Give him a stolen base. Second ball, 2-0 count now. How do I take a run off the board?
Edit.
7-0 lead for Tavares. They've now sent, this is the 11th batter in the inning. Morales, he's 1 for 1. He singled as well in his first at bat. The first 7 batters reaching base in that Tavares lineup, and now it's going to be 8-0. Give Papel the run as he makes it on the air. Papel crosses home plate. Tavares now with an 8-0 lead. So Tavares looking for its first victory of the season, coming in after losing the first 4, certainly has positioned itself. And ball 4 to Morales, who's now 2 for 2 in terms of reaching base. Morales draws the walk. And now coming up to the plate, the pitcher, number 11, Hinckley.
Let's go, Cal.
So Hinckley, 1 for 1. He singled and got an RBI as well as scored.
Go, Cal.
8-0 lead. Ball lashed down to second base. That's Polanco. Picks it up, scoops it over to first for the easy out. But much damage done by Tavares as they take an 8-0 lead at the end of just half an inning from Mustang Field. We'll see if Wekiva can answer when we come back.
4-6 ground out. Recorded on the fielder's choice, and that takes us to the end of the the middle of the first inning. 8 runs scored by the Bulldogs in that first half inning.
You still have 1 run.
Yeah, no, I added it. So you press the edit and then what do you
Edit runs and then
Edit
type
runs.
whatever you want and then
Okay, so where can we put? Yeah, that took a lot of starch out of my sandals being down 8-0 already.
As we enter the bottom of the first inning, a leadoff hitter for the Mustangs, center fielder number 4, Brady Reinhardt.
And Wekiva will be looking to get some runs on the board. They gave up an 8 spot in that first inning. This is Reinhardt, as you just heard Mark Barchi say, flying out to the left fielder.
Play is fielded in
Watson.
left by Easton Watson. One away for the Mustangs. Next at the plate for Wekiva, number 3, the catcher, Cody Bowen.
So 1 pitch, 1 out for Wekiva, facing a 8-0 deficit in that first inning. 12 batters came to the plate for Tavares. And a 1-1 count now. Make that 2-1 count. Mustang Field is side as the count now goes to 3-1. That will be strike 3 as Bowen goes back to the dugout. 2 outs now. And that'll bring our starting pitcher, Messino, up to the plate.
Hinckley records a swinging strikeout to put 2 away for the Mustangs. Next at the plate, pitcher number 16, Alex Mancebo.
Hear the crack of the bat on that swing by Messino. It'll even the count at 1-1. That'll make it a 2-1 count now. That 3-1. So a full count now. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning, a 8-0 lead by Tavares. Nobody on. Your starting lineup and the field for Tavares behind the plate, Minchie, Ramji, and the first hit of the game. Line through the hole there, right over second base by Messino. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Flacker, also the third baseman. So your starting lineup again, Bowen behind the plate, Graham at first, Lopez at second, in the hole, Polanco at shortstop, hot corner third base, Flacker and left to right in the outfield, Bowen, Reinhardt. Let me do that again as we get a pinch hitter. So Michi is actually behind home plate, Ramjeet at first, Moskaloff at second. In the hole, the shortstop is Rogerio. Austin at third, the hot corner. And left to right in the outfield, Watson, Propel, and Morales. And strike 1 on Flacker. He comes up to the plate with the runner at first base. Now batting with the runner at first base, third baseman, number 18, Flacker. And that'll make it a 2-0 count. And in the air there, the ball gets by the first baseman, Ramjeet. He tracks it down, but not before the Messino makes it over to second base. And a 2-0 count on Fulcare at the plate. So now a 3-0 count. First two batters retired by Hinckley. Mancino reaching base on a single. And now the 3-1 count on Fulcare at the plate. A delivery, and that'll make it a 3-2 count. 8-0 lead for Tavares. They came out and certainly looked like a team on a mission, putting up those 8 runs. 12 batters came to the plate in that first inning. High fly ball to the right side of the infield, and Ramjeet calls off Maskalev and puts it away for the third out. So 4 batters coming up to the plate, but no runs. Still 8-0 Tavares as we head to the top of the second inning. Live from Mustang Field.
Fly catch will take us to the end of the first inning. Mustangs remain scoreless on 1 hit with no Bulldog errors, leaving 1 on base. The score 8-0 at the end of 1 inning. As we enter the top of the second inning, the Bulldogs will begin in the fourth position of their lineup with first baseman number 3, Kishan Ranjit.
And as you just heard Mark Barchi say, I'm Neil Fisher. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening where the nightfall is now upon Mustang Field. 2 innings have been played, and so far, well, 1 inning's been played. We're in the second, and it's been all Tavares as Ramjeet looks at ball 1. Now a 2-0 count. Tavares putting up an 8 spot in that first inning, 5 hits, along with 2 walks and 2 errors. They sent 12 batters to the plate in that first inning. Now a 3-0 count on a leadoff hitter in the second inning. And make that ball 4. So 4 straight pitches.
Well, now we must have misread one of them.
Yeah, it's a 3-1 count. So our correction. Tavares coming in looking for its first win, 0-4. So certainly with that 8-0 lead, they put themselves in position to get that first win tonight. Can't ask for a better first inning to start off. And that's out of play. Graham giving chase, but that went over the dugout. And we do have a new pitcher in as well, and that's Emil Flaquier, who started this game at third base. He comes in, takes over for Mancino, who was making his first pitching outing of the 2026 season. Everybody back to their assigned positions. Alston ready for the next pitch. Flaquier gets his sign. Strike, and that'll run the count to 3-2. No, actually, that is strike 3. So that'll be the first out of the inning.
I'm gonna have to go reset the GoPro. And apologies that you're not getting a great view. I'll be right back.
And Austin now steps into the plate. Ball 1. Stepping into the plate, number 4, third baseman, Austin. And Austin begins with a 1-0 count. That ball lined hard, 1 hop. Took some heat off of that. Lopez over to Graham for the second out of the inning. Lopez to Graham, that's the second out of the inning, and now stepping into the plate, number 20, catcher, Minchie. That's it. So Minchie reaching base in the first inning on a walk. He also scored a run. 12 batters came to the plate in that first inning. First 7 reaching base. So Minchie with that walk, his batting average remains the same. And that's .333, 3 for 9. Doesn't have an RBI yet. And as I mentioned, Flaquier now taking over on the mound. Strike 1. Some high heat there, actually middle heat. Minchie looking for the fences on that one. Boy, he got his money on that swing. That'll even the count at 1-1. So Flaquier comes in with a 4.67 ERA. in 3 innings of pitching, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts. And he'll have a chance to get out of this inning, a 1-2-3 inning. Now that it's a 1-2 count. That ball hit hard and solidly into center field, but a nice job by Reinhardt tracking it down to his left. 1-2-3 inning as Flaquer comes in, and at least for the time being, puts out the fire. Still 8-0 lead for Tavares as we head to the bottom of the second from Mustang Field.
Brady Reinhardt records the fly catch in center, and that will take us to the middle of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base as the Mustangs put 3 up and 3 down to take us with the score unchanged into the bottom of the second, 8-0. As we enter the bottom of the second inning, the Mustangs begin in the 5th position of their lineup with second baseman number 2, Caden Lopez.
And Wekiva also begins the bottom of the second, trailing 8-0. So now the 2-0 count. As you heard Mark say, Lopez at the plate. Wekiva giving up an 8 spot in that first inning. Now the 2-1 count. And Lopez will draw the walk. Lopez batting .333. 2 for 6 with 3 runs. Still looking for his first RBI, but first time Wekiva has gotten its leadoff hitter on base.
Next to the plate, shortstop number 6, Enrique Polanco.
And that was the 3rd walk of the season for Lopez. Polanco, as you just heard Mark say, stepping in, hacks off that first offering from Hinckley, who so far is retired, has yet to give up a run. Polanco, the shortstop, batting .500, 3 for 6, 4 runs, 3 RBIs, so certainly one of the leaders offensively for Wekiva. And he'll now be looking at an 0-2 count. Hinkley gets his sign, and that'll be ball 1. No advancement from Lopez. Nice job by Minchie to keep that ball close enough to prevent any advancement. 1-2 count. Hinckley looking for the first out of the inning. Won't get it there. That's high and outside. And now a 3-2 count. Hinckley started off this at-bat with 2 quick strikes, and now it's a full count. Runner at first, nobody out. Leadoff hitter reaching base. It's a hit and run. The swing, the throw down to second. So when the dust clears, it's a strikeout for Polanco. Hinckley recording it. And a runner at second base on the stolen base.
Next to the plate for the Mustangs, designated hitter number 13, Luke Robinson.
So your goal when you come up with the runner on base and nobody out is to advance the runner, as Robinson takes a swing at that first pitch to no avail. And that's certainly was not the intention, but the end result was the same. We have a runner on second with 1 out. That ball chopped over into foul territory. Robinson steps back in. And that'll take the count to, no, that will be the 3rd strike. So Robinson, in his first at bat, strikes out. 2 outs now with the runner at second and Bowen coming up to the plate.
Next to the plate for the Mustangs, right fielder number 7, Jordan Bowen.
Ball outside, the first offering from Hinckley. Again, mentioned there are 2 Bowens on this team. This is number 7, Jordan Bowen. As we got a stoppage, going to have a conference at the pitching mound. So Jordan Bowen comes in batting .400. He's 2 for 5, a run, along with an RBI. So again, we talk about this a lot. If you listen to our sports, our broadcast, first of all, thank you. But this is familiar. An 8-0 lead, so you might be wondering why the need for the conference or the strategy with that large lead. But coaches don't just coach for the moment or the particular game or when they're up by a large run. They're also thinking about the next several games down. Of course, Tavares, as I mentioned, this is their 5th game of the season, looking for their first win. As Hinckley goes back to work on Bowen, looking to improve on that .400 batting average, 1-0 count. So you're not just thinking, if you're the Tavares coaching staff, of course head up by Coach Prevesk, 1-1 count now, about this game. You're thinking, you know, you're 0-4, you got a chance here, you're in good position to get that first win of the season, so you want to build on that, as well as you're thinking about heading into the middle part of the season. Hinckley, a delivery, and that'll be outside. That'll make it a 2-0 count. We're in the bottom of the second, 8-0 lead for Tavares. They put up an 8 spot in that first inning, sending 12 batters to the plate, taking advantage of Mancito, who was in his first pitching start of the season. Wekiva with a 1-2 record. losing to Windermere, defeating Windermere Prep in the opener, and that'll take the count to 3-0. And then losing 23-19 and 15-4 to Circle Christian and Colonial, respectively.
Next to the plate will be number 11, the left fielder, Blaine Bird.
So the runners at first and second now. Pair walks given up by Hinckley in the bottom of the second. As you just heard Mark Barchi say, of course, Mark Barchi, our PA announcer, as well as the producer of this broadcast. Ball strike one, an 0-1 count. And that ball rifled into foul territory. 0-2 count. So Hinckley getting off to start all pitchers want, getting 2 strikes quickly. Bird making his first start of the season and his first at-bat. A 1-2 count.
Did they win last night? Lost? No, not lost.
So actually correction, like Wekiva off to a 1-3 start. And there's strike 3. So a couple of walks given up by Hinckley, but more important and doing more damage is
Strikeout called for Hinckley. Will put the third out up and take us to the end of the second inning. The Mustangs get 2 on no hits with no errors, but no runs scored either, and that takes us to an 8-0 conclusion to the second inning from Mustang Field.
So we'll be back with the start of the third inning and an 8-0 lead for Tavares.
Want to let you know that you will hear silence between half innings. Don't be alarmed. That is just because we have to protect our YouTube stream from copyright infringement with the music that plays here in the ballpark. So don't be alarmed when you hear silence. We'll be right back. As we enter the top of the third inning, Easton Watson, the left fielder in the 7th position in the lineup, begins the half inning.
The half inning. Tavares begins the half inning with the 8-0 lead. Strike one on Watson. Watson 0 for 1, struck out in the first inning. 12 batters came to the plate in that first inning. 5 hits, including a double, 3 walks, and a couple of errors. And when the inning ended, Tavares had the commanding 8-0 lead. That's Emil Flaquer on the mound. He took over last inning, had a 1-2-3 inning. Mancito began this game, pitched the first inning, and as I mentioned, was tagged rather hard by Tavares, the Bulldogs. And that'll be No, that's in play and tracked down by Graham over at first. So 1 up, 1 down. 4 in a row now by Flaquer.
Fly catch is recorded at first base by Graham. That puts 1 away for the Bulldogs. Next at the plate is shortstop number 1, Joseph Ruggiero.
And Ruggiero steps in. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Singled in that first inning, got an RBI and scored himself eventually. Flaquer again came in at the start of the second inning. He's retired 4 batters in a row. That ball hacked into foul territory, 0-1 count. As we begin the top of the third inning. Strike 1, a 1-1 count. And that'll be strike 3. As Ruggiero will go back to the dugout. And that'll bring up Maskaloff, the second baseman.
Flocker records the strikeout to put 2 away for the Bulldogs. Next at the plate, second baseman number 16, Gabriel Moskaloff.
Moskaloff steps in, 0 for 1 tonight, struck out in that first inning. And Moskaloff looking for his first hit of the season, now looking at a 1-1 count, 0 for 4. Flaquer continues on the mound. He delivers. That'll be ball 2, 2-1 count. .709 in the Eastern Time Zone. This is Mustang Field on the southeast side of Apopka. Right next to the 429. We're not quite as close as we are if we were broadcasting the softball game, as the count now 2-2. Of course, softball, you hit the ball out of the stadium and it goes into the 429 to give you an idea of how close. The baseball field right next, about 10 feet from the softball field. But still, you can hear the sounds of the motorists passing as they drive down 429, and now that's a 3-2 count. Nope, that's ball 4. So first batter to reach base against Flaquer. That's Moskaloff on the walk.
Moskaloff walks to first. Next to the plate for the Bulldogs, they return to the top of the card with center fielder number 13, Jordan Popple.
And with the 8-0 lead, as is often the case, Popple leading off the game with a single. He scored a run, the first run of the game. He then had a second hit, an infield single in the second inning. So 2 for 2 for Popple in terms of reaching base. Actually 2 for 2 plate at bats. So Flaquer, he'll step off the rubber. We're in the third inning, 8-0 lead for Tavares. He's put up all 8 of those runs in that first frame. 2 outs, runner at first. Strike 1 to Popple, who's trying to look like he was going for those extra bases there with a heavy swing. Unable to catch up to the slider on the inside corner. Moskaloff sliding back into first safe. Ball came loose. So waiting on the delivery now as evening has turned into nightfall. at Mustang Field. The delivery, and this ball elevated behind home plate, out of play. And that'll make the count 0-2. Flackhair gives a look over to Maskaloff. Now gets his sign. And that ball golfed, but foul territory. Got a good swing at it, Papel, but just lined it into outfield on that curve. So count will remain 0-2 here in the top of the third inning. Runner remains at first base. As Foucault gets his sign, that ball ripped, but snagged by the shortstop, Polanco, going high off the ground to get it. So a walk with 2 outs to Maskalov does not do damage, and Foucault keeps the Flames at a minimum. Still an 8-0 lead for Tavares as we head to the bottom of the third inning on the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network.
Enrique Polanco makes the line-out catch to take us to the middle of the third inning. No runs scored on no hits with no Mustang errors, leaving 1 on base. The score remains unchanged, 8-0 at the end of 2.5 innings.
than not. Ball grounded over to first base. Ramji getting a good start, good jump on that ball, and an easy out, the second of the inning.
Kashun Ramjeet makes the U3, and that puts one away for the Mustangs. Next at the plate for Wekiva, pitcher number 18, Emil Flacker.
Flacker stepping in. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He was retired by Ramjeet in the first inning as well. Fly ball. 1-0, 8-1 lead for Tavares. Wekiva getting on the board here in the third inning as strike one. Flacker taking all the way. A single on a bunt single for Reinhardt. Beautifully laid bunt, just slightly down the third base slide. Put it in no man's land between the pitcher and the catcher. 1-1 count. Stowed second, went to third on an error on the attempt to get him out at second on the attempt to stolen base. And then came home on a wild pitch. Yoder coming in. After the butts, after Reinhardt reached third base, 1-2 count now. They'll take the count, even the count at 2-2. Yoder coming in with a 12.60 ERA. This is his third appearance. 1 2/3 innings. He's given up 3 runs, all 3 earned. 2 strikeouts, no walks. And he will get out of the inning with only 1 run given up. That run, of course, goes to the starter, Hinckley.
Strikeout recorded on the foul tip, and that will take us to the end of the third inning.
Do you have any hits in the inning now?
1 run scored on 1 hit, with no Bulldog errors, leaving 1 on, and that will make it an 8-1 ball game at the end of 3 innings. We'll be back. Welcome back to Mustang Field. As we enter the top of the 4th inning, the Bulldogs win in the 2nd position of their lineup with right fielder number 9, Hector Morales.
They have 6 hits, by the way.
And Morales Looks at ball one. Morales 2 for 2 tonight in terms of reaching base. He had a single in the first inning, scored a run, and drew a walk in the second inning. Fourth time that Tavares with that 8-1 lead, and now the 2-0 count has gone through the lineup. Actually, excuse me, it's the third time. Count now 2-1. Scored those 8 runs in the first inning, sending 12 batters to the plate, all against Messino. Alex Mancebo making his first start of the game. And we'll have a runner at first base, lead off
Wild
right.
pitch, third strike, was that what that was?
I believe it.
Save it first on the wild pitch, third strike, and next to the plate will be number 1, the DH, Calvin Hinckley.
So Hinckley steps in. He was the starter for Tavares. 1 for 2 for Hinckley. Singled in the first inning, drove in a run, and wound up scoring himself. Flew out to the center fielder in the second at-bat in the second inning. And so now, runner at first base, the drop third strike, and that does not actually go down in the book as an error. Wekiva actually only making 2 official errors, but of course, Mark, they've made a number of other errors which are not tangible. As you expect, this is a very young team. Only a handful of upperclassmen, and certainly they've shown that not only through the first 3 games of the season, or 4 games, coming in with a 1-3 record, but certainly tonight looking to improve. The 1-0 count now. Ball lifted high, but it'll be in foul territory, back behind the dugout. That's Emil Flackhair, who's in his 3rd inning of work on the mound. He's had 1 strikeout in each inning so far, and that ball's going to get underneath him. Scooped up there, nice effort by Polanco, and yes, he does get...
Polanco makes the throw to Graham for the 6-3 ground out, 1 away for the Bulldogs. Next to the plate, first baseman, number 3, Kishan Manjeet.
So a beautiful play by Polanco, charging that ball, picking it up, throwing in one motion, and that much needed out. As Ranjit starts off on strike 1. I say much needed out because Morales, of course, reached base on the air. The drop third strike, actually. He did move it down to second. 1-1 count on the inside and high pitch. 8-1 lead for Tavares. They scored all 8 runs in that first inning. Wekiva scored its own run in the 3rd inning, our last inning. And that ball sliced into foul territory. That'll take the count to 1-2. Flackhair back to work, takes a look over at Morales. Strike 3, second of the inning, 4 in total for Flackhair.
Flacker records the swinging strikeout to put 2 away for the Bulldogs. Next to the plate, third baseman number 4, Aaron Alston.
So Alston will step in. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Doubled in the first inning. That was the big hit. All the other hits were singles and wound up scoring a run. And that 8-run first inning grounded out to Polanco, the shortstop, in his last at-bat during the second inning. So Flacaire on the verge of going 3 straight innings without giving up a run after 8 runs put up in that first inning. Polanco coming in the start of the second inning. Excuse me, Flacaire coming in the start of the second inning. Takes a quick look at Morales, delivers, strike 1. And Mark, certainly see the difference here. Of course, Mancebo, an underclassman, an underclassman, and Flacaire, the senior. Ball poked into foul territory. 0-2 count now on Alston. Flacaire ready to deliver again. This ball hit hard on a line, on a rope, and into right field, gets between first and second, and scoring from second base is Morales. Again, the error, although not officially recorded as an error, drop third strike though, comes back to haunt Wekiva. 9-1 lead now, and give Alston an
RBI single recorded for Alston, as that will send Morales home and put a run up for the Bulldogs here in the 4th inning. 9-1 the score now. Next at the plate, catcher number 20, Stephen Minchie.
Oh, Minchie steps in, runner at first with 2 outs. And a beautiful piece of hitting there from Alston. Not just the actual hit, but he came with 2 outs, 2 strikes. Minchie taking a heavy swing there, strike 1. Temperature in the 80s at game time, about 87, 88, as Minchie is plunked there on the left shoulder. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs. And now stepping up to the plate is Watson, the left fielder. He's 0 for 2 tonight. So Flacaire cruised through the first 2 innings he pitched, the second and third, as Watson unable to catch up with the heat on that pitch. It's 0-1. Run into some trouble here in the 4th inning, albeit that run was unearned. It's a drop third strike, otherwise we'd be out of the inning. 1-1 count now. Count now. As Flacaire gets ready to deliver, runners at first and second, 2 outs. Ball lined into left field, but too much heat on it. Reinert right there takes 1 step forward, and that'll bring the top of the 4th inning to a close. Tavares does take advantage of the drop third strike on the leadoff hitter Morales. He comes around and scores, single to Alston, and it's a 9-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network.
1 run scored on 1 hit with no Mustang errors, leaving 2 on base, and the score now stands 9-1 Bulldogs at the end of 3.5 innings. I don't know where the extra battery is. It must still be on the score table. I'm going to have to go get it. Should automatically. Is Lopez the next
next batter?
Yes.
Okay. So when there's a new batter, just push next batter.
Okay.
We'll advance that. And then otherwise, everything else is controlled through here. Oh, and bases, if you want to light up the bases when they get on base, you can do that. See what that's doing? I'll be back in a second.
We move to the bottom of the fourth inning with the score Tavares 9, Wekiva 1. Due up for Wekiva, the second baseman Lopez, shortstop Polanco, and designated hitter Robinson. And welcome back to Mustang Field, where again the score 9-1. Wekiva needs to get some runs in here. They have work to do. That ball hit hard, but it'll be right to the center fielder, Papel, who puts it away for out number 1. Papel with the catch in center field for the first out. Now stepping up to the plate, shortstop number 6, Polanco. Polanco 0 for 1 tonight, struck out in his only appearance in the second inning. As Yoder goes back to work, strike 1. Yoder coming in after Brad Reinhardt led off the third inning with a bunt single. Reinhardt winding scoring the lone run for Wekiva. 0-2 count now. 1-1 count now on Polanco. Bottom of the fourth inning, 9-1 lead. 2-1 count on Polanco. Tavares sent 12 batters in the first inning to the plate, scoring those 8 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks. The ball hit straight out there to the left fielder, Watson, perfectly positioned, just a couple steps to his left, and 2 outs. Watson putting away the second out in left field. That brings to the plate the DH, Robinson. So Robinson steps in. He's 0 for 1, striking out in the second inning, and he looks at ball 1. So Tavares, that'll be ball 2, in position to get its first win of the season against 4 losses. Wekiva has some work to do, a lot of work to do here if they're going to avoid dropping to 1-4. Strike 1 against 2 balls now in the bottom of the fourth inning. Yoder back to work. Ball poked in the foul territory, getting just a piece of that. Now even the count at 2-2. I'm Neil Fisher. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Of course, nightfall now at Mustang Field as that ball yanked into foul territory. Keeps the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Yoder looking to close out the inning. And he will do that. It's a drop third strike. Quick throw over to first base from Michi. Ramjeet catches it, puts it away, and that'll bring the fourth inning to a close. 9-1 still in favor of Tavares. Wekiva is retired in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we move to the top of the fifth Tavares with the 9-1 lead. Due up for Tavares in the top of the 5th inning, leading off the shortstop, number 1, Rogerio, the second baseman, number 6, Maskaloff, and back to the top of the lineup, the center fielder, number 13, Papel. And welcome back to Mustang Field, where Wekiva faces a 9-1 deficit heading into this top of the 5th inning. Tavares looking for its first win of the season, scoring the difference right now, an 8-run first inning, as Rogerio, who's 1 for 2 tonight, steps in and promptly finds the hole in right field, the leadoff single. And Tavares in business as Maskaloff steps up to the plate. The single by Rogerio leads off the 5th inning. Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Maskaloff. So Maskaloff steps in. He's 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. First pitch hitting, and that ball's put away by Graham for the first out of the inning. Graham tracks down the fly ball and grabs it for the first out of the inning. Runner remains at first base. Now batting, pitch hitter, number 10, Austin Sayer. So Austin Sayer coming in, pitch hitting at the top of the lineup for Papel. Runner at first with 1 out, 9-1 lead for Tavares. They scored 8 runs in that first inning. The difference, sending 12 batters to the plate, 6 hits, 2 walks, and a couple of Wekiva errors. That's Emil Flaquier on the mound for Wekiva. He came in to start the second inning. He's given up 1 unearned run. As we look at ball 1, low and to the inside. Flaquier, of course, putting down the side, settling Wekiva down, but probably a little too late. Not enough and too late, as the saying goes. Give the stolen base to Rogerio. And so Papel now with an opportunity to get a run in, get an RBI. Excuse me, that's Sayer. Sayer. This is Sayer's first official at-bat of the season. He's appeared in 3 games, but does not have an official plate appearance. As the count now 2-0 in the 5th inning. Flaquier gets his sign, looks back at Rogerio, swing, and I don't believe he got anything. It was caught, so that makes it 2-1. Flaquier trying to get out of this inning without any more damage. Leadoff single by Rogerio. Whoa, could have been disastrous. Give Graham credit there to drop third strike. And that will be the second out of the inning. Second out of the inning, recorded on the strikeout. And now stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 9, Morales. So 2 outs, runner does advance to third on the throw. And again, Flaquier has the count now 1-0. Trying to get out of this inning without any more damage being committed. That's strike 2 from Flaquier. Flaquier delivers. Strike 3. The high heat gets Morales. And that will retire the side. Wekiva getting out of that inning without any damage, despite the runner being at third base. And actually, correction, that was a pinch hitter. That was Brantley Warren at the plate. In either
Locker
case,
records the strikeout, and that will take us to the middle of the 5th inning with no runs scored, leaving one on base as we go into the bottom of the 5th. And ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the middle of the 5th inning, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the 5th inning stretch. So we invite you now to stand up, stretch your legs, and join us now for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the Mustangs. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Welcome back to Mustang Field. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Apparently, my rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game was too much for the computer to handle, and it locked up solid, so we had to restart it. So we apologize for the inconvenience. What you've missed, though, is not much. Neil, you want to recap the bottom of the 5th inning from while I was troubleshooting?
Sure. So the score now 9-2. Wekiva scoring its second run in the 5th inning. A double by Reinhardt with 2 outs into the left or the right/center field. And then he came home on a wild pitch during Bowen's at bat. Bowen, of course, unable to put the ball in play and struck out on the next inning, on the next pitch to bring the inning to an end. 9-2 is where we stand as we move to the 6th inning. Welcome back to Mustang Field. It's been a long game for the Wekiva Mustangs, the home team. Of course, their youth and inexperience showing. That is one of the few experienced players on the mound, the 3-year on the team. That's Emil Flacker. He's come in since the second inning, and he begins his at-bat against Hinckley, who was the starter for Tavares with 2 strikes. A 9-2 lead, 8 runs given up in the first inning against the starters. Strike 3. Is that strike? So a 1-2 count, excuse me there. Got a little bit ahead of myself. And now 2-2. Eight runs scored in the first inning by Tavares. They came out ready to play. Wekiva not so much. And Mancebo, your starter.
Well, Flacker records the strikeout, but 1 away for the Bulldogs. Next to the plate,
19.
next to the plate, number 19, Francisco Matos.
So Matos steps in. He'll be pinch hitting for Ramjeet. Ramjeet finishes his day 0 for 3. Did reach base on an error, a throwing error in the first inning. Then struck out twice. Scored in that first inning. Again, 8 runs pushed across home plate in that first inning. Is the count now 1-1 by Tavares. And you can see that is the difference. It's a 7-run lead. All those 8 runs came against the starter, Mancebo, who's making his first appearance in the game from the mound. And that will be a 2-1 count. Ball just outside. We're in the top of the 6th inning with that 9-2 lead for Tavares. 2-2 count. Nope, that's strike 3. And Flacker continues to be strong out on that mound, and in particular the strikeouts.
Flacker records the 2nd consecutive strikeout, 2 away now for the Bulldogs. Next at the plate will be number 8, Tanner Williams.
8 strikeouts for Flacker. In 4 2/3 relief, so almost 2 strikeouts per inning he's averaging. Stepping up now, as you just heard, is Alston, and he's 2 for 3 tonight as he looks at ball 1.
No, it's Alston's spot in the lineup, but this is actually Tanner Williams, number 8.
Excuse me, Tanner Williams. Austin going 2 for 3. He had a double and a single, scored a run off that double in the first inning. Williams comes in. This is his first at-bat, first official plate appearance of the season. He has scored a run. He's played in 3 games. Now the 1-1 count. (9-2) lead, top of the 6th inning. Ball lined, caught there on the 1 hop by the 3rd baseman. I believe that was Reinert. Yeah, Reinert, number 4. Long throw to first, and so Flacker continues to keep that score at least reasonably, the deficit reasonable.
Reiner to Graham for the ground out, and that will put 3 up and 3 down for the Bulldogs in the top of the 6th inning. 9-2 remains your score after 5.5. As we enter the bottom of the 6th inning, the Mustangs will begin in the 3rd position of their lineup with number 16, Alex Mancebo.
And so Mancebo will be charged with the task of getting Wekiva, getting the offense moving as he takes a hack, swats that ball into foul territory. Wekiva trailing 9-2. Tavares, looking for its first win of the season, certainly has positioned itself. They just need 6 more outs before 7 runs scored by Wekiva, and that is Yoder on the mound. Count now 0-2. Came in the 3rd inning, taking over for Hinckley. He's only given up 2, both runs charged to Yoder, and we get the leadoff single into right field from Mancebo, exactly what Wekiva needed. As
Mancebo records the single grounder to right field. He's safe at first next to the plate for the Mustangs. Pitcher, number 18, Emil Flacker.
so Mancebo getting exactly what Wekiva needed as outs are running out. And Flacker takes ball 1 on the outside. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Flew to the first baseman, Ramjeet, in the 1st inning, struck out his last at-bat in the 3rd. But Flacker has kept this, and actually with Flacker in, the deficit has been cut down by 1. It was 8 when he came in, now it's 7. Flacker has done a masterful job in 4 innings of relief. Actually 5 innings of relief, again 8 strikeouts, giving up only 1 run, and that was an unearned run as the count now 2-2. Of course, the question mark is too little too late. After the 8-run 1st inning, ball hit back to the 1st, back to the pitcher, Yoder, over to Ruggiero, over to
6-3 double play is recorded on the throw from Ruggiero to Ramjeet, and that will retire 2 for the Mustangs. Next to the plate for Wekiva, number 2, the 2nd baseman, Caden Lopez.
So nicely turned play there. Give Yoder credit. He knew where he was going to go right away, went for that lead runner, just like you're taught all the way back to Little League and AAU baseball. Beautiful turn there from Ruggiero. And just as quickly as Wekiva had the opportunity to build some momentum and maybe even put a run or 2 on the board, the threat is squashed. So 0-2 count now on Lopez. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Walked in the 2nd inning. His first at-bat flew out to the center field Papel in his last at-bat during the 4th inning. Yoder back to work, gets a sign. Ball smashed down to the 2nd shortstop. That's Ruggiero, 2nd consecutive play he's been involved with.
Ruggiero on the throw to Ramjeet for the 6-3 out, and that will take us to the end of the 6th inning. And so despite the hits to lead off, Mustangs will record 1 hit but get no runs on no errors on that double play. None left on base. The score remains 9-2 at the end of 6 innings with 1 left to play in regulation. As we get ready to start the 7th inning, we'll remind you that the Mustangs will face the Bulldogs again on March 3rd. That's the 2nd half of this home and away series. So that'll be at Tavares, March 3rd at 6 p.m. The Mustangs are headed to Fort Worth to play Brewer in a tournament game next week. But then they will be They will be back here to face Ocoee a week from tonight, Friday, February 27th, 6 p.m. first pitch against the Ocoee Knights. That's your next chance to catch Wekiva in this part of town. As for the Bulldogs, if you follow Tavares baseball, your next opportunity to catch them will be at Apopka on the 23rd. That's coming up Monday at 7 p.m. Then they are home to host Umatilla Tuesday at 6. And as we enter the top of the 7th inning, the Bulldogs begin in the 6th position of their lineup with catcher number 20, Stephen Mincy.
Emil Flack here continues on the mound for Wekiva. Again, he came in to start the 2nd inning, and he's been money. Unfortunately, it was already 8-0. Tavares putting up that 8 spot in the 1st inning. That ball, slow grounder. Reinhardt with the throw. Great job of fielding and just having an opportunity, but Minchie beats it out for the infield single. So the error committed by Reinhardt, and one. The 4th time tonight that the leadoff hitter for Tavares has reached base, 0-1 count. Only two of those four batters that reached the base leading off actually got singles. The other 2 were errors.
Now at the plate is left fielder number 15, Easton Watson.
A hit and run. Reinhardt this time feels it, and this time a 2nd consecutive throw, this time too low. And when the dust settles, literally, it'll be runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. And so, of course, the usually sure-handed Reinhardt committing a couple of errors.
And back-to-back fielding errors for the Mustangs will put runners at 2 and 3. And next at the plate will be shortstop number 1, Joseph Rosario.
Oh, 1 count with Rosario. He's 2 for 3 tonight, a pair of singles in the 1st inning as well as the 5th inning. Scored in that 1st inning and got an RBI as he looks at ball 1. Strikeout in between. And now Wekiva absolutely needs to get it out here. 2nd and 3rd keep that lead at 7 runs. Of course, the best result, as the count now 1-2, would be the strikeout. Foucault with 8 of them in 4 innings of work. As I mentioned, Reinhardt, the usually sure-handed player and senior, making a couple of errors. He'll get a 3rd opportunity, goes over to 1st, and this time Graham drops the ball. And that'll take the lead to 10-2.
So the RBI is clean one way or the other. That run would have come home no matter what, but the E picked up at 1st, and so that will put runners at 1 and 3. And next at the plate will be 2nd baseman, number 6, Gabriel Moskaloff.
And so runners at 1st and 3rd as Wekiva's manager. So Coach Pyard has made his way out to the mound.
Yeah, Wekiva clearly losing some focus on defense here. That's the first error I'm willing to forgive. That was a tough throw to make. That would have been probably down to the wire, even if it would have had to been played expertly to get that out. But the 2nd and 3rd errors of this half inning, a little bit less excusable. that RBI was going to come home no matter what, thanks to the first 2 errors, but the third error means that we still have 0 outs on the board.
Worst possible situation for Wekiva, not just in terms of the outcome. The throw down to second, no attempt from third base. Thought maybe there was a double steal on, but it was successful. Ruggiero reaching second. But not only was it unsuccessful in the fact that you had an error, but you go from having the opportunity to get an out to no outs, as you just mentioned, Mark. So now you have runners at second and third, and again with no outs. So even a single right now brings in most likely 2 runs, but even if you hit the ball to mid-range outfield, you're going to give up a run. Now there's what they needed. The last batter, the strikeout.
Flocker records the swinging strikeout to put 1 away for the Bulldogs. Next up, Tavares returns to the top of the card with pinch hitter number 10, Austin Sayre. So just ignore the scoreboard on your screen because I'll have to fix that.
So Austin Sayre batting for the first time in the 5th inning. He struck out 0 for 1. Flackhair continues, and Flackhair has pitched masterfully in relief of Masibo. Starts off with strike 1, finding the corner with the slider. He's given up 2 runs. Both of them have been unearned. Obviously, 3 consecutive errors to start this inning. That's an unearned run. 0-2 count. The other run that he gave up was in the 4th inning, and that inning began. He had a strikeout on Morales, but the 3rd strike was dropped, and that's just outside. Well, you could see Wekiva wanted that one, of course, get that second out of the inning.
Yeah, getting out of this half inning as we get that swinging strikeout there. Getting out of this half inning with just 1 run against them would frankly be kind to Wekiva. As the swinging strikeout again recorded by Flocker to put 2 away for the Bulldogs. Next at the plate for Tavares is number 5, another pinch hitter, Brantley Warren.
So Warren steps in. Warren is his second at-bat. He made his first at-bat pinch hitting in the 5th. He struck out as well. And Flackhair now with 10 strikeouts. That'll take the count to 1-1. One, 2 count. One more strikeout, and Wekiva will get to go to the dugout and set up for their last at-bats. Flackhair gets his sign, looks at the runners. The delivery. Strike 3, and Flackhair actually struck out the side after giving up the 3 errors.
Swinging strikeout. Actually, 3 strikeouts recorded by Flocker in that half inning, and that takes us to the middle of the 7th. 1 run scored on no hits with 3 Mustang errors, leaving 2 on base, and the Mustangs have 8 runs to make up as we head into the last half inning of regulation here on Friday Night Baseball. The Mustangs will begin the bottom of the 7th inning in the 6th position of their lineup with shortstop number 6, Enrique Polanco.
So Wekiva needs 8 runs. Strike 1 on Polanco.
As Polanco at batter he's number 6. He's the 6th position in the lineup, and he's position number 6 as a shortstop.
And Tavares needs 3 outs, 1-1 count now. Polanco 0 for 2, struck out in the 2nd, flew to the left fielder Watson in the 4th. 8 runs scored in the 1st inning by Tavares, and that's the difference. An 8-run lead now, 1-2 count.
And you know, of the 2 home games that we've seen, we missed last night's, we were here, but we were focused on softball because they were doing Parent Appreciation Night. But
and that will be the first out of the inning. That's Yoder in. He came in the 3rd inning.
Yoder records the strikeout to put 1 away for the Mustangs. Next at the plate for Wekiva will be designated hitter number 13, Luke Robinson.
5th strikeout.
So, again, we were covering softball last night because they were doing their Parent Appreciation. It was also their opening day, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Baseball now starts a week earlier than softball to accommodate their pilot program in the postseason, where they do series instead of individual games, as we get strike 2. And so, Neil, you and I have only seen 2 home games so far for Wekiva, even though they've obviously had some road games and that additional game yesterday. And at least the ones that I've seen so far, Wekiva has followed the same pattern where they kind of dug a hole in the 1st inning or so, and then spent the rest of the game struggling to dig out of it.
Yeah, Mark, and I'd also say, going back to the theme, this is a young team. Not only a young team, but an entirely new coaching staff. Of course, Emil Flacker, who came in the 2nd inning, started the 2nd inning. He's been money, 10 strikeouts, 2 runs, both unearned. Not his fault. One of those players, along with Brad Reinhardt, who, as we mentioned in that last inning, unfortunately, for whatever reason, as we are now down
back-to-back swinging strikeouts recorded by Yoder. Next at the plate for Wekiva, right fielder number 7, Jordan Bowen.
And for whatever reason, Reinhardt has had a couple of brain cramps and made a couple of errors there in that inning. I guess the good news, if you're Wekiva, is that 1 run really doesn't appear that's going to make any difference. But still, you don't expect a senior or 4-year varsity player to make those mistakes. And my point is that we don't have a lot of juniors and seniors to begin with. You're young and inexperienced, and then we had a couple of mistakes by one of those players we were counting on.
Well, and of course, the other thing I'd point out is that bullpen management strategy has kind of changed in the last few years since the FHSAA has followed in the footsteps of many other state associations, as well as programs like AAU and Little League, in instituting pitch count limits. And when you have pitch count limits, particularly when you have a somewhat inexperienced bullpen, it changes the way you think about that. You're not necessarily going to put your most veteran pitcher in to start every game and then see how it goes, because if you rack up too many pitches on your most veteran pitcher, then they're not going to be able to play later in the week or at the beginning of the next week when you need them for a game that might be more impactful to your power rankings. So
3-2 count, and that will bring the game to the end. Capping it off with the exclamation point, Yoder striking out the side. So Wekiva gave it their best shot. Unfortunately, 8 runs in the 1st inning, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 errors. Only 2 of the 8 runs were earned, and that was your difference as your final score, 10-2. Flack here coming in, pitching beautifully, 10 strikeouts, kept it within 8 runs, but again, too little, too late. Wekiva drops to 1-4, and Tavares ups their record to 1-4. Mark, take us to the finish line.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. 10-2 is your final score. 10 runs scored on 8 hits with 4 Mustang errors. Wekiva 2 runs on 4 hits with no Bulldog errors. And your 10-2 is your final score here on Friday Night Baseball action. Again, for the Mustangs, your next chance to catch them in this part of town is going to be a week from tonight as they host the Ocoee Knights next Friday at 6 p.m. We'll be here to broadcast that as well. And then for the Bulldogs, if you want to travel with them, they'll be at Apopka on Monday, and they'll host Umatilla on Tuesday. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. Those of you here in the ballpark, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you watching online, we hope you will subscribe before you go. For Neil Fisher, this is Mark Bargy, the voice of the Mustangs, wishing you a good night and a great weekend. Good night from Mustang Field.